Am I
One sec. You are audible. Hi.
can't
Give
believe
me.
I'm meeting you. Oh my God. Really, I mean, you were my inspiration when I used to teach in BYJU'S now.
Sweet. Really. I am so thankful, Astha. I always say this, I get so much love and support from like the teachers, the students. It's heartwarming.
But because you have created such, persona and such atmosphere for us, we always, whenever your video used to come, I used to admire, oh, when I will be like this. Really.
Wow. No, thank you. I'm grateful. That's all I can say.
No, I, so, ma'am,
Yes.
we can start if you're ready. So, before I jump to the questions, ma'am, I would like to know from your journey, like, how do you think, we can actually help teachers or contribute towards upskilling them?
I think, first of all, congratulations to you because what you're doing over here is definitely one step in the right direction. Okay. Uh, I think that teachers do need, I think inherently every teacher knows what they want to do. They just sort of need a little bit of help and support along the way. And that's where, what you're doing really helps. Of course, there is, the upskilling in terms of communication, how to make it, make better presentations, etc. In fact, to be very honest, also, I'm doing my own bit. I've just created a communication skills course myself based on whatever I know about communication, which can, go a long way to help teachers as such, But yeah, upskilling, learning, connecting with the students. Training is always necessary. There is no question of it, and which is why I said you're on the right journey. But primarily, it depends on what sort of teacher it is, what the subject is, So there's the subject related training, which I think teachers have to keep doing on their own. Like now AI is coming in and so many other things are coming in. So they have to keep updating their own knowledge. But apart from that, honestly, soft skills like communication, etc., better presentation, better engagement, all of that will definitely help. So kudos to you.
Thank you, ma'am. And I would like to explore your communication course, to be honest, Tarana, because this is the area that I myself find very difficult training teachers on. I used to think this is
Right.
something I really can't train them on because it actually takes a lot of effort and time at the same time. So I would,
It
yeah.
it does. But the most the I think the myth about communication over here is that most people think that communication starts when you begin speaking, or it's about how you present your, fancy presentation. But I think a little differently. For me, communication it actually starts even before you start speaking. Communication actually starts with what you're thinking and feeling inside you, because the fact of the matter is, if there's confusion inside me, then what is going to come out is unclear communication. If I have fear inside me, then what is that is going to come out as trembling of the hands when there is, a presentation that I have to do. So it largely starts from inside us, but the problem is that most people are not even aware of what is happening inside them.
Yeah, absolutely 100% agree to and relate to this because I have observed now teachers actually come fumbling, nervous, and that is also one of the very major part of communication. So thank you for
Yes. So I've devised my own communication course, which I call the 4C framework of communication. And what I've basically done over there is I've gone through various institutions like Harvard. What does Harvard do for communication? What does MIT Sloan do for communication? And I found that all of them are sort of teaching communication as a leadership skill, because it is. There is no question about it. Leaders have to learn how to communicate that idea. So what I've done is basically take the common ones across all, and then add my own aspect of self-awareness. And what I've created is what I call the 4C framework of communication, where communication is basically, the first one is consciousness, which is basically self-awareness. So like I said, you have to be aware of what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and how is that coming across. Okay, then the second pillar is clarity, because now that I'm aware of what am I thinking, how do I put this message across in the most structured, clear way so that it comes out clearly and reaches clearly. So that is structured thinking, clarity. The third one is connect. The third one is craft, which is what I call skillful expression, which is the area that I think I'm known for, with all the, the voice modulation and the body language and the presentation skills. And then the fourth one is what I call connect, which is stakeholder alignment, because again, people think they मैंने तो बोल दिया तो communication हो गया, but it's not just about us talking. It's about, has your audience, has your listener understood? Have they aligned with the message? Are they engaged with the message? And that's exactly what you're trying to do over here, right? So those are the 4 C's: consciousness, clarity, craft, and connect.
I love the idea and the framework, ma'am, especially the fourth part, where I see most of them struggle because they deliver, but they're not able to connect or build that, a relatability with their audience and the learners. So yes, that's amazing. I would love to explore. Do share with me, or whenever you actually have any workshops or something, do let me know. I love to explore.
I will. Most definitely. Yes.
We'll come to the questions now that I really want the teachers to know about. So the first one is, what's one classroom engagement strategy that has consistently worked for you, regardless of the topic you're teaching?
Okay, so my personal mantra for everything is high energy. And I think this, a lot of the teachers as well as the students who've watched my, classes have said, love your energy. And that consistently, no matter what topic I've taught, whether it's been social science, whether it's been, math or English or whatever it is, that's the one thing that basically transports you to make you connect with your listener. So that would be my engagement strategy. I mean, it works for me, but I think a lot of the times teachers will find that if they amp up their energy, the connect will definitely be better. Yes.
That actually, and sometimes if a teacher have sessions or something, a little bit of it, which actually affects the students.
Yes.
Question, ma'am. How do you engage attention or energy?
Again, for me, Astha, the energy is always there, but I think in terms of making sure that the attention doesn't drop, I personally tend to use a lot of personal anecdotes, a lot of personal stories, a lot of jokes that are of course relatable to the student and relatable with what I'm teaching, because it can't always be about the subject that you teach. It has to be made a little bit interesting and relatable to the students so that they understand, you see. That would be
Side. Storytelling, or basically the STEM inculcation, is absolutely the key point. Do you also think that
big.
tools like the integration of some simulations can also affect their engagement?
Absolutely. In fact, I think a lot of the edtechs out there are actually doing this, where they're actually helping the students to learn better. Number one, through storytelling. Number two, with simulations, where they can actually interact with the stimulation. Because whenever you're doing something, your attention is bound to increase, your focus is bound to increase. And that's the whole idea. So, yes, it'll definitely help.
Right. It's good to know that. Coming to the final question, it's one common mistake that you feel that unintentionally reduces student engagement.
I think on the teacher's part, it would be lack of flexibility or adaptability, to be very honest. Like I said, we come with a very clear idea of what we want to do in that class because time is always short. So we always have कि 1 घंटे में हमको इतना खत्म करना है. But life doesn't always move like that, right? In that classroom of students, you're going to find someone that is engaged, someone that is not engaged, someone that is late. So how are you going to maneuver that situation? And that is where the flexibility and adaptability comes in to try to keep, making sure that the attention span doesn't go. If something happens in the class, you have to, learn to digress from your original plan and see what you can do in that moment is my feeling.
No, no.
But most of the time, I'm focused on getting that lesson over with. So we are a little rigid about it. So yeah, that does tend to reduce engagement for sure.
No, really, ma'am. It's and I am actually or this challenge there with the teacher of adaptability, This go with that, okay, I have to finish or I have to just deliver because it's a session for me. But they forget to add their own magic. Teachers always know that, it's the passion that makes them the teacher, I feel. But I don't know, because of some pressure on them, they just tend to forget this during the session. But this is one of the very key factor to make the session engaging and interactive.
Well, I would say it has to be a balance, right? Because we have to finish the syllabus or the curriculum. There's no question of that. But yeah, it requires that little bit of that human touch, a little bit of that, learning to let go and say, okay, I haven't managed it this time. I will do it next time and, somewhere meet that balance. Yes.
I'm glad. So these were my three questions. I'll actually tell you, ma'am, I'm going to host one more workshop of mine wherein I will be coming with the tools, the simulations that can help them make their session engaging. I hope that will
Great.
help them to,
I'm sure.
but
I'm sure.
but still, ma'am, thank you so much for giving your time. Trust me, people don't respond, but you actually not only responded, connected with me, so it truly means a lot to me.
No, no, anytime, Astha. Always happy to help the community, happy to help my fellow teachers. And uh, if in any way I can give back because I've got so much love and support from everybody, I would be happy to do this.